I'm still locking things up, man. Come on.
It
Right,
should be up on the stream now, I think.
they may
You
not
said,
have.
you
Interestingly
mentioned
enough,
Invasion with Widows not bringing Widows. Well, they just proved you wrong, my man. Invasion from Widows have brought Widows.
Yay.
Alrighty, well, Maud, stars through, man. What has everyone got?
yeah, so on the Long Gigi's roaming team, we see a pair of Lashak's Balgorn, Magus, Double Confessor, Double Deacon Griffin going very point heavy into their top end.
Yeah, just twin Widow. I'm gonna love this if those Griffins jam out the Widows enough that the Widows are worthless. I'm gonna just die laughing. Honestly, it's gonna be amazing. I'm missing a ship. Hold on.
Yeah,
Oh, there it
so
is.
right off the bat, we see both of the broadswords of invasion from Widows moving towards the core of Long Gigi's roaming team, trying to get kind of a bit of a screen off. Already, we're seeing Titan take a little bit of damage from what appear to be light missiles. The broadswords deciding to, for now, turn back, not wanting to go full headlong into what would be a pair of Lashak shooting them in the face.
Yeah, and Griffins as well. All the Griffins prioritize the Black Broadswords more than anything else. So they might have also just had no chance to lock either. So they probably went, let's just wait a little bit, come back in a moment.
Yeah, I mean, we see this a lot with teams that try to kite. They realize, hey, maybe let's not go headlong into this Balgorn that was webbing us. Maybe let's, try to get an angle either to below them, above them, or to one of the sides. Let's not just go headlong into that. So right now, both teams are just kind of jockeying for positions as we're seeing Griffins try to jam out Widows and Widows trying to jam out the Lashak and the Balgorn to knock those newts and that Triglavian spool off.
The moments that I wouldn't really be worried about the Lashak's damage just yet. But I mean, hey, you might as well get started early. But I'm just watching what these Griffins are doing more than anything else. I'm really curious. Looks like they're going for one of the Widows now. Good call.
Yeah, one of the Balgorns is now scrammed by the initial Nighthawk of UK Cass. UK will be the primary here. Kind of catching the Balgorn a little bit flat-footed.
Yeah, Broadsword versus Balgorn. That's going to be interesting. That being said, though, the Broadsword is now essentially going to be stuck still, and the Lashaks will be on their way soon to remove him from the field. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure if he's within scram range with that Broadsword, he's within web range of the Balgorn.
we're seeing the Confessor of Gainboat now starting to kind of jockey for position a little bit in the back, but deciding the better of it, not wanting to get screened off by the broadsword of Titan Akrad. Um, really just kind of the Balgorn not really taking a lot of damage, just having its paint scratched right now. UK
Oh, I gotta
cast
say, sorry.
stabilizing now with these Kirins, keeping him up for now.
Respect to the pilot, you casting that broadsword. He got the tackle on the Balgorn, got in there, held him down, and then when it's time, he left and went out to get some repairs. He knew when it was time to leave and managed to get away with it before the Lashaks murdered him. So honestly, bravo there. That's actually some really good, like knowing what's going on, good piloting to get away from it and come back in when it's time.
Yeah, we see that both of the Kirins are just standing right on top of UCAS, trying to make sure that that he remains stable and that they're able to continue to hold the tackle on the Balgorn. That now dropping as we see the Balgorn of Long GG uh, trying to get away, but not really propping, just choosing to kind of now stay in place and more or less anchor himself, getting webs, making sure that that broadsword can't move. As we see both Lashaks starting to get a proper spool onto that broadsword.
Yeah, so for a while there, that bug was actually fully jammed out, but he managed to engage Sucker Protocol and is now sucking out both the broadswords. And I believe he also was starting to newt out something else. No, sorry, all three broadswords. He was newting all three of them at the same time, trying to remove all the tackle. And look at that, UCAS is about to go down, and he does. Well played from the Balgon there to just absolutely suck him dry.
Yeah, no, I mean, I like what we're seeing from Long GG. Both of the Confessors now getting into a screening war with the Harpy, locking that down and then applying damage to that Harpy, forcing the Kirins to split reps between the Broadsword and that Harpy here. Long GG having no real difficulty keeping up any of their core as they're just systematically just shutting down those broadswords, nuding them out, webbing them, and getting what appear to be jams on both of those widows so far.
I gotta say, shooting that Balgon first is gonna be a real hard call because you can see it's got no guns fitted. So you know for a fact every single low slot module on that Balgon is devoted to tank. And especially when it gets a lot of resist stacked up together, it can really make it hard to kill with two deacons on the grid constantly repairing it, and the occasional jam breaking your DPS.
Yeah,
And
and
obviously,
even if you
that pop.
even if you do eventually kill it, and speaking of things that are getting killed, we see that the Griffin of Isaac does eventually get caught in the back. Not sure what that would have been. Probably light missiles from the Jackdaw of Li Zhu Cheng. But I mean, shooting a Balgorn for this long just really isn't worth it. We can see that the Stork of Rockjin, which will be the only link ship for Invasion from Widows, now going down.
So yeah, I'm not a fan of shooting the Balgon first. Obviously, try and hold it down as much as you can, but it's a pretty slow boat. You don't really have to worry about that. Honestly, you should be spending your time trying to pull off smaller stuff. Like try and grab perhaps the one of the confessors with a broadsword, get a quick lucky scram on it, hold it down just for long enough, and get Lashak to kill it.
Yeah,
But
we
sitting
saw
here, or even go for the Lashak. Just go for something that's doing DPS. Don't go for that one ship that's doing essentially nothing right now.
Yeah, we saw that No Can Harpy tried to do literally exactly that earlier on in the match, but he got screened off by the Confessor of, I believe, Gainbow, doing an excellent job just having the situational awareness to make sure that the Harpy didn't get something more important in the backline. Speaking of some situational awareness, we're seeing that the Jackdaw of Li Ju Cheng has been tackled by Pier Yi right now. So again, the Kieran's having to split reps between the Jackdaw and the Broadsword, and we're seeing that one or both of them is going to break as a result, not being able to stabilize both as Titan the Cred now pops.
Oh man, that broadsword just absolutely got obliterated. And there goes a Jackdaw as well. Their team's starting to fall apart. This like the James and the Widows don't seem to be doing all that much. They spent so much time shooting a Balgorn, it just doesn't care. He just doesn't give a damn. Meanwhile, the Confessors are just having a field day. I honestly think the Confessors are one of the best support killer ships you can get. They're just
Look at
looking
the
forward to the role.
look at the shield of Arthet on that broadsword, just absolutely getting nuked. I would be willing to bet that any sort of resistance he had
Just got
were
neutered.
completely shut off by that Balgorn's heavy
Hmm.
nukes. So
I'm with you there for sure. And we got
y-
Tula Shack shooting you as well. It doesn't matter how much resist you probably had anyway. Tula Shack's at that distance are just gonna obliterate what you have, and he's gone. Yeah, just ripped apart.
and it's just about the timing window where the resistances from the Stork would have been dropping off now that the Stork is gone. No Can is just getting absolutely eviscerated by that Confessor pair. And I mean, we're seeing the consequence of trying to do an ECM comp in the Year of Our Lord 2021 after the changes. It really isn't working like it used to. We saw that Vidra used to want to do those control setups centered around that. But in the year of surgical strike and ECM changes, it just doesn't work as well as it used to.
Yeah, have ECM as support? Yes. Devote your entire comp to it? No. Having a few griffins, like that one griffin there, with a bit of luck, can essentially render a widow worthless. That's like what, maybe 5 points worth of ship? No, it's 3 points worth of ship. Just turning off your widow, just making it do nothing. It's not
Yeah,
worth bringing these big ECM boats at the moment.
yeah, I'm really impressed with how long Gigi's been playing this. I mean, both of the deacons were um, making sure that the confessors were able to screen things, and also making sure that their Balgorn was being kept up. And I mean, this was just an attrition war between the Balgorn turning off those newts of the broadswords eventually. And that's one of the other problems with the double widow team is that sure, widows do a decent amount of damage, but uh, broadswords they're okay, but
They're
they're
not
not
DPS anymore.
great.
They're surprisingly good, but you are right. They're just it's not enough to really support your widows. And now those widows have now got new widows because they are now dead.
And with
We've
that, we're going to wrap this one up and discuss it more on the desk as we cut to some adverts here.